We have a very serious thunderstorm developing up towards the north of Marina. This one is going to be including Red Rock and Eloy. Those two areas are seeing a thunderstorm that has potential for 70-mile-per-hour winds and ping-pong-sized hail. That looks like that's going to be the main threat out there, and also tons of lightning associated with this one as well. It is going to be crossing along I-10, so if you know any family members are going to be driving, say, in between Phoenix and Tucson, make sure they pull over for this one, because this is the strongest thunderstorm that we've seen throughout the weekend, and I think it's only going to be increasing as we get here into the next little bit. Now, getting closer to the storm, obviously lightning, a huge issue with it. If you know anyone driving on the road, they're obviously seeing quite a bit over towards their east, but I do want to take a look at how quickly it's going to be making its way onto the interstate right here, and it might be kind of difficult to pick up since there's not really a whole lot in that area. What that storm track looks for is going to be towns, but one thing we can look at is going to be the rain rate here, which looks like it could be very, very strong over in this spot right here. So on average, it looks like in that area well over a full inch of rain per hour, and that's going to be moving directly onto I-10. And the hail is something else that we need to keep an eye on as well, because the National Weather Service did highlight the potential there for ping pong ball size hail, and it's only going to be building up. So this hasn't updated just yet, but as it gets closer and closer, you're going to see those yellows, and that does indicate some very strong hail out there. Now again, there is a few more severe thunderstorm warnings around that area. It's going to get very bad there. Lots of heavy rain, lots of strong winds. Again, 70-mile-per-hour winds are going to be possible with it. So one thing I want to do is take a look at the heights with the storm so far and see how it's doing, because if you've been watching, you do know those heights is a big thing we track with storms like this one, and it looks like it's beginning to build up very, very quickly. In fact, close to 60,000 feet, and that is why you could have ping pong ball size hail with it, and that portion will be moving over the interstate and closer towards areas like Eloy and Red Rock. So those are going to be the two big ones we're looking at with this. Now, another thing I want to check out with this storm in particular is going to be any kind of rotation. We haven't had any tornado warnings so far for this monsoon, but if any has any potential, it's one I would just want to check on. So what I'm going to do is look at what's called velocity right here and look for any kind of spots where you might see those reds and greens coming together, and I do see a little bit right here. It's not tight enough for any kind of tornado, but those straight line winds are always the biggest thing to watch with storms like this. So again, we're going to be tracking this system as it makes its way across the interstate. This is going to be a continuation of the one over Oracle as it continues to build on over towards the west. This will be expiring at 7:15, so if anything else comes up with this storm, I'll make sure to jump back on air, but for right now, we'll send you back to regular programming. Thanks, you guys.